Hello, good early evening or late afternoon. It's Mitch Goldberg, and you're listening to my live stream, Money in the Morning. You work hard for your money. I just want your money to work hard for you. Lots of decisions that you have to make: mortgages, borrowing, spending, saving, investing, emergency fund. One minute you're financially secure, the next minute you're worried. We've been talking ad nauseum about the debt ceiling. I can't wait till this is over so we could have a new problem to beat into the ground. And today, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says, well, at least we have a framework today. It's amazing how they position it. It's depending on which, party representatives speak. Well, they finally agreed to this, or then the other one says, well, they finally agreed to that. It's all posturing. It's all to save face and take something home over a silly rule called the debt ceiling that we just run up against. It's a big fuss. So the national debt, why is it up? Well, first of all, the U.S. economy has gotten a lot bigger over the decades. So the debt that we carry would also get bigger. Now, I know you'd say, well, I'd like to have no debt. We'd all like to see the U.S. government have no debt because it's our debt. It's if you're a citizen of the United States, the debt is partly yours, but we can't control that. Okay. We could get, emotional. We could get pissed off. We could unfollow and people on Facebook. We could do all these things that we do. And yes, that maybe helps you take control of things. But I'm talking about money control. The only things we can control is what we have up here, right? Now, you know this. I know I'm not talking to kids. I'm talking to adults. Control, your spending, how much you keep in your emergency fund. And while you're watching this, you know what else you can control? You could control hitting that like button, right? Or maybe the applause button, the wow, reaction, depending on which social media platform you're watching on. I stream to a bunch of them. All right. And here they are. So check us out. Give us a thumbs up. Today, McCarthy, who is like the last of the holdouts of the big four congressional leaders, to say, we're not going to default on our debt. We're going to come to an agreement. And that's how the negotiation starts. Maybe, just maybe, this is the conversation that we needed to have. Maybe we needed to just have a conversation about what could get done, what can't get done, negotiate, compromise. Compromise just means we all lose a little bit instead of anybody being a clear winner. Or you could say we all win a little bit, but not all the way. But I love the expression, if I work alone, I might go faster, but I know if we work together, we'll go further. So hopefully we're going to go further, get this past us so we can have a whole new set of man-made problems to worry about. But let's talk about what you could control. Not only are you investing in a 401k or some kind of retirement plan, have you considered raising the dollar amount that you could invest into a plan, right? You got to raise, so presumably you're putting more into your 401k plan because you're putting in a percentage of your income, right? Have you rebalanced your account? I mean, if your portfolio looks the same way it did 10 years ago, maybe that's wrong for you. Maybe you need to check that out. That's something you could control. I can't control what Congress does, but I know I could control what we're doing here. I know I could control being a pain in the ass to a client who says, I'm going to start moving my money to a Roth 401k instead of a pre-tax 401k because that'll be better for my tax status when I'm retired in like 20 years. And I've just got to be that pain in the ass to, move you along, be your accountability partner. You got to bug people. You got to push people a little bit, right? Because people nod their head like this when they leave a meeting with me with the best of intentions. But how many people follow up and do all those things? I kind of make a little laundry list. I send it to them in an email, and these are the things you have to do. And they often write back, thank you very much. But, 6 months later, did you do them? Well, this, well, that. I get it. Life gets busy. That's why you need me. Listen, not everybody needs a financial advisor. Oh my God, you're thinking, did a financial advisor just say not everybody needs a financial advisor? Well, listen, if you could get all of the things done that you need to get done, if you have the time for it and the confidence for it, and you know what you have to do, because remember, you don't know what you don't know. That's the problem. That's why you need a professional. But if you know, you could do all of your investing and planning on your own, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Not every successful retiree in the world had a financial plan and investment plan. I think it helps. I think for a lot of you, it's necessary. I think for a lot of you, it's helpful. For a lot of you, it's a second opinion. And for some of you, it's a luxury. For some of you, it's a luxury that you don't want to pay for. And for some of you, it's just not necessary. I get it. Hey, I'm not looking to be all things to all people. If you need my help, I'm here. You can check me out, clientfirststrategy.com. We're going to talk about a couple of things today that we ordinarily don't get into too much. I want to talk to you about reverse mortgages. The reason I want to talk to you about that is, well, there's many reasons why I want to talk to you about it. So is it like a scammy, ugly, grotesque business? Or is it really something that could be a really good tool in my toolbox as a financial advisor to talk to people about in an intelligent conversation? Let's roll the introduction, then we're going to get into this stuff. And by the way, I don't sell mortgages. I'm not in the mortgage business, and I'm not your tax advisor. And I'm not your daddy, unless my kids are watching right now. But, these are the things we'll talk about. So I have no skin in this game. I just want to make sure you guys are educated. So when it's time to make a decision, you make the right decision for your family finances. That's what this is all about. Nothing else really matters. And here's the intro. All right, we're back. I should do the intro probably in the beginning of this live stream, but then I get onto my little riff, and you have to let me go with my riff, because first of all, if I'm interrupted from my riff, it takes me like 20 minutes to get back on track because of my ADD. And, I don't want to keep you here, all day, right? So we got to just let me get through my little riff. All right, let's take a look real quick at reverse mortgages. And there are a few use cases for them. So what is a reverse mortgage? The reason that this is on my mind is because for some of you who don't know me, I have a radio show also every Monday morning through Friday morning. Every Monday through Friday, it's 9 a.m. to 9:30. It's on 103.9 FM LI News Radio. And the LI stands for Long Island, not LinkedIn. Someone asked me. I figured I would let you know. So Long Island News Radio, it's a really good station. And what they really like to focus on is useful information. I know a bunch of the radio hosts, and these are not all professional radio hosts. They're people like me who just have something to talk about, a lot of wisdom to impart, a lot of experiences to share. And one of the people I had on today is Tim Kennedy, and his show is called It's Just a Mortgage. But he focuses on reverse mortgages. He's got a special certification that it's a financial education, continuing education, a designation that very few people have. And what I like about that, it's the mortgage business is a business where pretty much anyone can be a mortgage broker. It's kind of like being a stockbroker like 25, 30 years ago. So I like to see designations, stricter regulatory, continuing education makes that business more professional. But I'm not saying that every mortgage broker is not a professional. Some of my very close friends are incredible professionals who I would trust at any given time for a mortgage for myself or a friend or a loved one. So I'm not knocking the whole industry. I know 4 or 5 people that are truly amazing at what they do, very professional. They've been doing it a long time, and These are the people I would go to in a second. So anyway, a reverse mortgage is when you have a house, you could take equity out of the house. It's because you're borrowing, it's tax free. You've got this pot of money, and presumably you're going to use it to pay for projects for the house, expenses, just maintain your lifestyle. You could use it for anything you want, but you must continue to pay for the homeowner's insurance, upkeep of the house, and the real estate taxes. If you don't, you could get foreclosed on, even in a reverse mortgage. So this is why you see nightmares of people getting foreclosed on in reverse mortgages. The other thing is for married couples, it used to be, I want to emphasize, it used to be that I think if the surviving spouse is under 60, they're not allowed to have a reverse mortgage, even though their older spouse took out the reverse mortgage, and somehow that resulted in people getting kicked out of their homes. There was just a lot of awful things. The commercials were really skeevy, and it was just like you're saying the word reverse mortgages was like people would it would make people turn green. So, but I know that the growth in the industry has changed massively, and I think part of that is because people are getting older, but the other part is people have a lot more equity in their homes. The other thing is the regulatory construct around the reverse mortgage industry has made it a fair proposition for the consumer. Okay, especially here in New York. I think that goes for a lot of states: New York, New Jersey, California. It's there's a lot of consumer protections. Having said that, you don't have to use all of the money at once. You could take it out when you want. Just pay the interest on it. The interest you don't actually pay out of your cash flow. It comes out of the home equity when you sell the house. Your line of credit grows as well as you paying interest. And a lot of people would sell this product like you're not paying for it. Don't worry about it. It's not coming out of your pocket. It's not cash flow. You are paying for it. And that's the problem with sales practice violations. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say, oh, you're not paying. It's just going to come out of, the house down the road. You're not really paying for it. They make it sound like it's free money. This is far from free. And those are some of the abuses that when they're hoisted upon senior citizens who might not be as sharp as they were 15 or 20 years in the past, that's where it becomes a really big problem. Now, I have clients who have used reverse mortgages who are wealthy and they've got a lot of equity, and it just helps them live better. They have other assets, IRAs, and things that they're going to leave to their kids. And they're like, they don't want to empty out all their accounts other than like required minimum distributions, things like that. It lowers their tax bill when they use money from a reverse mortgage. But I'm pretty insistent that when they go through the process that I am, involved in a way to make sure it's fair. And I also like them to know, I want to know if their estate planning attorney knows about it, if their accountant knows about it. These are the, we're looking at it. Okay. So, and I have to say, by and large, it's pretty legit stuff. Okay. So having said that, what are the things that you could use it for? Well, let's say you're 62, 63, your money is tied up in your business. You want to retire. And you think you're going to sell your business over the next 4 or 5 years. But you want to retire, let your managers run the business. You want to start living your life. You want to join your club, get your nice car. So maybe you do a reverse mortgage now. It doesn't affect your cash flow. You are paying for it, but not of your cash flow. Out of when you pay back the reverse mortgage, either with cash, by paying it off, or when you sell the house. But you'll sell your business in a couple of years because you're going to have the liquidity event. That's one use case scenario. Another use case scenario is, you want to make it from 62 to age 70 because you want to put off claiming Social Security because you know that if you watch me here, waiting to claim your Social Security makes a huge difference in your Social Security benefit. So maybe for delaying Social Security, that's another potential use case. So those are two that I could think of. Sometimes people just are older and they need funds, and it's a source of where they could get it, and the money that they take out divided by the next maybe 8 to 10 years. It should be enough to live on, factor in some inflation, and their, you know, longevity, their lifespan might not be 8 to 10 years. I could see it in that case also. So there are use cases, but I don't like this, everyone could benefit from it. It's the greatest retirement tool. No, there is no greatest retirement tool or money tool. There are just tools. And the best tools are the ones that I need for the job. The best tool when I have to hammer in a nail is not a screwdriver. The best tool is a hammer. So that's a pretty good analogy, right? So we have to make sure it's the best tool for the individual. Some cases it shouldn't be used. I mean, most cases it shouldn't. But that goes for every tool in my financial advisor toolbox. You only need a couple tools to build the right portfolio for somebody. So that's what we spoke about. When someone takes out a reverse mortgage, the person who owns the house, still keeps the title of the house, by the way. They're still keeping the title. The house is still theirs to do with it what they want. Obviously, they have to pay the real estate taxes, necessary homeowners insurance, and upkeep for the house. Okay. But other than that, you could do whatever you want with the money. It's your house. You still live there. Children could live there with you, whatever it is that people need to do in life. So these are some of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Now let's talk about the market today. People are worried, the debt ceiling. I've been pretty clear about this. I'm not changing anything for my investment plans, financial plans, because of the debt ceiling. Okay. I haven't changed a thing, and I'm not going to. The only reason I would change my investment plans or financial plans is because of my life cycles. As I go through my life cycles, I'll be making changes along the way because, my risk tolerance, my time horizon changes. All right. That's one thing. And of course, I'm 55. So you think your time horizon, you start thinking, oh my God, my time horizon, because you go through your whole life thinking you have all this time ahead of you. And then one day you get old and you realize your biggest regrets are not the things that you did. It's the things that you did not do. And just for all of you coming up to 50, I have some good news for you. Okay. I have some really good news for you folks out there who are coming up to the age of 50. It's not the deals you get with the AARP card, of which you're going to get tons of solicitations for when you get close to 50 years old. I'll tell you what the deal is, the real benefit. A lot of the things that you thought were really important to you, they go away. A lot of things you realize, like, why am I chasing that? It's not even a goal that's important to me. I've just been chasing some superficial or unnecessary or goals, or chasing after goals that no longer bring me fulfillment. And they go away and you're just like, you don't care anymore. And it's the most liberating feeling there is when a lot of these goals, they're like, it doesn't mean you're less ambitious, by the way. It doesn't mean you don't want to make money. It doesn't mean you're not ambitious. It doesn't mean you're not going to work hard. It just, your priorities change and they become real. They can become the priorities that you always knew you should keep closest, and they become close. It's a great feeling. Best feeling there is when you turn 50, that the bullshit goes away. It's wonderful. And when you see people 55, 60, 65, and they're out having a good time, it's because they're really enjoying their life, because they're really just enjoying their priorities, the things that bring them joy. It's a real liberating feeling. So you'll get there. You'll be happy you did, and chin up. Let's talk about the stock market though. Okay, so the Dow was up over. Let's see, it was up 408 points. Let me put my screen up for you, and we'll talk more clearly about it. I think when you're looking at the same thing I'm looking at, it makes it a lot easier. Let me get rid of the social media icons. All right, there we go. Let's take a look how the So the Dow up 408 points, up 1.25%. Nasdaq up 1.28% at 157. S&P up 48 points. These are good moves. 1% plus moves in the major averages gets my attention. When they all move 1% or more in a day, that definitely gets my attention. 2% moves, oh yeah, I'm really paying attention. I don't look at the stock market all day. A lot of people oh, how's the market doing right now? I'm like, I've been sitting with you talking to you for like an hour. I have no idea how the market's going. Do I look like I'm going to look at the phone while I'm talking to you? My attention is on you. Whatever. But I guess it's something to talk about, something to ask. Gold continues to go lower, down 1985. I think it's an indication that I've been saying for a while that inflation is heading down. Hey, listen, how many people out there are saying what I'm saying, that we could see a new all-time high in the S&P 500 over the next 8 to 12 months? How many people are saying that? I am. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think we could get there. I'll tell you why. As inflation continues to come down, as companies have cut costs, have gotten mean and lean, when revenues pick up a little bit and inflation is low, you've got good earnings growth, moderate inflation, and steady inflation. That's called Goldilocks. Stocks go up, PE ratios expand. By the way, you can't invest directly into an index, but you could invest into a security that tracks or mimics an index, like an S&P 500 index fund, for example. Back to the screen. The VIX, oh my God, the VIX is down to 16. Now, this people thought was going to take off because the regional bank stocks had problems, Silicon Valley, Signature, the one in San Francisco. What hate when that happens. Is it because I'm 55? Really? First Republic. Thank you. I got it. Okay. I got it. All right. First Republic Bank. So, that's being taken over by JP Morgan. So, a lot going on, but we didn't get the giant spike in the VIX yet. That's the fear gauge, or it's when money managers are worried, they start paying more money for protection, insurance, options, things. They start taking bets that the market could go down a lot, so they want to protect their portfolios. So the VIX is at 16 and change. It does not show stress in the market. And a lot of people have been saying, but the stock market's very complacent considering we could have this debt ceiling. And I've been saying this whole time. You hear it here. No, market's not being complacent. I think people are worrying too much. We'll get past the debt ceiling. I mean, it's just, of course we will. So markets were up, but let's take a look at some of the stocks that were up. Let's see. I'll put you on my watch list. By the way, if you want to copy my watch list, go right ahead. Okay. Let's take a look at technology. All right. Tech stocks were up a lot today. The more speculative, smaller tech stocks are up the most. Snap, ServiceNow. Well, ServiceNow is a pretty good sized company. Marvell, DocuSign. Okay, Adobe had a nice move up. Nvidia's over $300. Look at that. Nvidia over 300. Okay, so all Salesforce.com in the 200s. Meta, used to be called Facebook, is 242. Somebody asked me why is it up a lot? I'll tell you why. Meta has great cash flow. Their last earnings and revenues report were blowout numbers, way, way better than expected. And now that they said they're going to scale back on their investments in this cockamamie metaverse that they're spending on, and they've gotten religion about cost cutting, they're firing a lot of people, getting their costs under control. All of a sudden, the stock is taken off, and Wall Street analysts are very favorable on the stock. It's a cash flow generation machine, and they're protecting the cash flow. So that's why Meta is up, and it's got a ways to go to get back into the 300s. Its high was 2 years ago. It was April of 2021. So it's got a ways to go, but right now it's looking good. It's up about 100% this year, and I think it's the biggest winner of the S&P 500 stocks so far this year, followed by NVIDIA. Google was up, PayPal, Qualcomm. The tech sector was just ripping. Okay, Apple's up a little bit. Who was down? Intel was down. Of course, of course, Intel was down. Right? It's just nonstop heartbreak. I want to take a look at the financials, and I'm just giving you a taste of why they were what was moving the market. By the way, the XLK, that's the big ETF that we use to track technology. That hit a year high today. Okay, but Pac West up 21%, Zion's up 12%. But look at this IAT. That's one of the ETFs that we talk about. M&T Bank. M&T Bank has been pretty solid. U.S. Bancorp, solid. It was under 30 for a little bit, and people really were like thinking, "Oh my God, U.S. Bancorp, they're too big." I mean, I don't know why people even consider U.S. Bancorp a regional bank. To me, it's too big to be regional. But look at J.P. Morgan was up $4. Goldman Sachs is up almost 10. Good day. So the bottom line is the disasters that y'all were expecting didn't happen in the banks. And the banks are the central nervous system to both the economy and the stock market. And if the banks are okay and that fear is gone, and it looks like the debt ceiling is about to be settled, and the Fed appears to be at least on hold at the moment, maybe permanently for the cycle, and corporate earnings were only down a smidge, doing, not down as much as expected, but stock prices went down. Those are the ingredients for a higher market. And we've talked about that a lot, reasons to be bullish. Let's not get overly negative. So this is why I say don't make shifts based on fear. I hate when people sell on fear. I hate that. One thing you won't get from me is I'm not going to try to sell some stupid financial services product based on fear. It's a horrible way to go. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to get going. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you have a good morning tomorrow. I'm going to post my interview today with Tim Kennedy on on my social media pages. So keep an eye out for that and take a look. I'd really appreciate your thoughts on that in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel while you're watching that video, I'd appreciate it if you would. And I'll speak with you soon. Thanks. Bye.